I'm Alexandra. I'm the social work intern.
Hey, I'm Jess.
Hi, nice to meet you today.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get started, I do want to go over some of the paperwork that you filled out beforehand.
Okay.
So specifically in the informed consent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about the informed consent?
It was a lot of paperwork, so what I read was basically, if I say I want to kill myself, you call the cops, and then I have no rights.
Okay, so it's not exactly like that. So everything's to remain confidential with the exception of if you say you want to kill yourself or kill someone else or harm someone else, or if there's, abuse of someone who's disabled, elderly, or child abuse. And then in those cases, I have to break confidentiality.
Okay.
But it's not taking away your rights.
Okay, sure.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So just a heads up, I'm going to be taking some notes while we move through this. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay, they're just for my own, note taking so I remember.
Okay.
But what brings you in today?
So, my friend recommended that I go see a shrink because I have this court case going on, and it's not like a huge deal, but she said if I have psych help, then I'd be better in court, and my case would be okay, and I wouldn't have to go to jail for it.
Okay, so your friend is the one who kind of referred you here?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
I mean, if it works and I don't have to go to jail and I don't have to go on probation as much, I'm fine with it as long as this works and it's helpful.
Okay. So, can you tell me more about this probation?
So I'm not on probation yet. I have the court hearing in 2 months. So supposedly, what the report says happened is that I hit the side of a car, but really they hit me. Anyhow, the cops are involved because the other person was such a pain. Whatever. Cops are involved. And they thought I was drunk. They said they could smell something. And then I agreed to a breathalyzer, which I shouldn't have done, but anyhow I did. And then when I blew on it, my blood alcohol level was higher than it was supposed to be. So I shouldn't be driving, and now we're going to court for that.
That's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So, do you drink often before you start driving? Or?
It's not like I plan to drink and drive. It's just we're out, we go out to dinner, me and my friends will go out to dinner, then there's drinks, then we keep having drinks, and then my car is already there, so it just makes more sense to drive my car back instead of getting a ticket for my car leaving there. So it just kind of happens, and it's not that big of a deal. It just happens when it does, but it's not too often.
Okay. And so you drink every night, or how often do you generally drink?
It depends. Usually I drink more on the weekends, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Usually we'll start pre-gaming around 5 or 6, then I get home around 3 or 4 in the morning, and then whatever drinks people buy me, I drink, and then usually we pre-game with a bottle of vodka.
Okay, so mostly during the weekends, and
Yeah.
during the week, what does your week generally look like?
I'm part-time at Bunker Hill Community College. I'm studying art design, and it's cool. It's something to go to school for. I meet different people, meet people I can go out with, and then I have a part-time job at this local coffee shop.
Alright, so you're pretty busy.
Yeah, kind of. I still have enough time to go out on the weekends, so that's important.
Yeah, so your social life is pretty important to you.
Yeah. I enjoy going out with friends, and I'd rather be with friends and working and going to school, but someone has to pay for stuff, so that's why I do it.
Okay. Have you ever been concerned about how much you're drinking?
Not really. I mean, at times it can get pretty bad, and my brother will say, hey, I'm like my mom, and I'm not really, she used to drink just every day, constantly, and she'd never stop. At times, my dad would force her to go to detox, then to a hospital, we went to screaming and crying, and it just got a mess. So, I'm in control because I just keep it to the weekends.
Okay. Yeah, so if it's not during the week, it's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Have your friends ever been concerned about how much you drink?
Sometimes, my newer friends are because they think I drink a lot, but I'm fun to party with, so I'm okay with it. My older friends seem more concerned because they know my mom, like they know my family, they grew up with me.
Mhm.
So it kind of just depends on who you ask, but it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, so it's fine with your older friends and.
No, with my older friends, they think it's more of a big deal because they know my mom and stuff. My newer friends are kind of like, yeah, she's fun to go out with.
Okay, so your newer friends like that.
Yeah.
So what do your older friends generally say?
That I could be turning into my mom, that I have a drinking problem, I should look for help. SVU recommended that I go to AA, but just a bunch of sad stories there. I think once my friend dragged me there, but it was just a bunch of sad older people saying that, like, alcohol controls our lives, and it doesn't really control my life.
Yeah, because you don't drink during the week, so you can control
Yeah.
that. Have you ever had a weekend where you didn't go out drinking?
Not really. Like, usually that's what everyone knows that I like to go out, so I get invited to parties every week, so it just makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, you are fun to party with, you said. And you don't really see it as a problem.
Not really.
Okay. Have you been, caught for drinking and driving before?
I haven't been caught, but I've done it a few times. Like I said, it just makes more sense. Ubers are expensive, especially with the surcharges in the city. And, like, if my car is there, I'm not going to take an Uber home, pay for the Uber home, and when I get back, there's going to be, like, 10 tickets on my car. It's just more money, so it makes more sense just to go and drive drunk. Because you're not drunk, but, like, drive a little tipsy, or I can have someone else drive the car, and it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
Because, like, I know the way home.
Yeah. So you have a pretty big social support, too.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I usually just, yeah, they're nice. Like, I know them. I wouldn't say, like, we, like, paint each other's nails and, like, go places together, but we just kind of go, and I usually see the same people because I go to the same places. So I'd say they're friends.
Okay, and by these places that you usually go to, they're bars or other places?
Mostly bars. There's a few clubs, and I think there's one hookah lounge in Boston that I really like to go to.
Okay.
So I get in for free.
Oh, okay. So you go there quite a bit to get in for free then,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So, that's good with those friends. Those are the newer friends?
Yeah.
Okay. And then your older friends, you have a closer relationship with
Yeah,
them?
usually I just see them during the week because, like, they don't like that I go out and drink a lot. So I just see them during the week, and then, I don't know, what do we usually do? Sometimes they'll come over for dinner, like, on occasion, or they'll text me to see how I'm doing, or, like, around my birthday and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, at times it's nice, but they're more, like, up and ag, so I try and distance myself when I can. And I spend time with them, like, once or twice a month.
Okay, so not too often then.
Yeah.
And you talk to them, like, on the phone or...
I'll text them or, like, see them on Snapchat, but, like, that's kind of it.
Okay.
But they mean well.
Mm-hmm. And who do you live with right now? Do you live with your mom still?
Right now I have 2 roommates. We live in a 3-bedroom apartment in Alston. It's on the 3rd floor. It's nice. Sometimes the AC doesn't work, but other than that, it's a nice apartment. It's close to, like, nightlife, so I like it. And they're just kind of random roommates that I met on Facebook. But so far they seem okay.
Do they also like to party?
One moved in, like, a month ago, and she's kind of quiet. And the other guy is never there, so it's kind of like I have my own place.
Okay.
So it's nice that there's people there if I need them to be, or if someone needs to, like, if I get locked out at night, I can just knock and someone will let me in. But for the most part, I'm by myself.
Okay. So, how do you feel about being by yourself and that?
I like it. I mean, at times it can get boring, but other than that, it's nice to have my own space because there's so many people during the weekends and, like, when I go out, that it's nice to be able to, like, not have to be near people.
Okay, I understand that. And what do you usually do when you're by yourself, when you have downtime?
I try and get caught up on my schoolwork, but, like, I'm only taking 1 class, so it's very solely part-time, and that I can usually do in maybe half an hour a day, so an hour or 2 overall. And it's not too bad to get my homework done, so, like, I'll do homework, maybe I'll watch what's on TV, I'll get my nails done. But, I don't know, that's kind of it. See what's on TV, usually.
So it sounds like you have a lot of self-care that you're able to do throughout the week.
What do you mean by that?
Like taking care of yourself and kind of, doing things that you enjoy.
Yeah, well, I like getting my nails done because it looks nice. And then TV shows, there's usually one on most days of the week, or I can just DVR it. And then, I don't know, homework's not too bad. I can usually just do it on the train going into school when I don't have time at home.
Okay. What kind of TV shows do you like?
Usually whatever's on like ABC or the CW, those channels at night, or any like specials that happen during the year, like the ABC Christmas time or like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, like those type of specials I like, and those are cool to watch.
Okay. So you like a lot of holiday sort of things?
Yeah.
What do you... So the holidays are kind of like, they bring up good memories for you?
Like, it's not great, but people definitely had it worse than me. So, it's okay.
Can you tell me a little more about that?
Christmas was cool because we always spent it with my Nana, so, like, she made sure we had a good Christmas. Thanksgiving was just a bunch of yelling and screaming and chaos because there'd be wine at the dinner table, then everyone started drinking, then my mom wouldn't stop drinking. It was just a mess. And those are the only holidays. Easter was, like, okay, because it was more religious, so my mom would try and drink less or be more presentable in church. I think those are the main holidays. Birthdays or whatever, they came and went, but there's nothing super special.
Okay. So Christmas sounds like it's probably the best holiday then.
Yeah, it's cool.
So did your mom seek help or some sort of treatment for her drinking?
I don't know. I know, like, my dad tried to force her to go to some place. She went out, like, west a few times. She would leave for months at a time, come back, be okay for, like, a month or two, then go back again or start drinking. It was hard to tell. She'd always say she was on business trips. My dad would say she was on business trips, too, but I don't know if she was because I was a kid. And then, I don't know. I don't really know what happened. I don't keep in touch with them as much. They live in Colorado, so I'm out here in Boston, so it's kind of far away. So
Okay.
I'll talk to my dad once a week or so, and he says everything's good, or my mom's on more business trips.
Okay. So that was like more so, well, she was absent a lot then when
Yeah.
you were there. That was a lot with you the whole time you were growing up?
Yeah, I guess. Like, but my grandma was there, so it was fine.
Okay. And that's your Nana?
Yeah, my mom's mom.
Okay, mom's mom. And you seem to be pretty close with her?
Well, she died last year, so before that, yeah, she was cool.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Eh.
So you have a pretty busy kind of schedule, but it sounds like you have like some sort of like schedule for it, like organized busyness.
Yeah, well, class is Wednesday nights, and then I usually work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings at the coffee shop, so then I'll pick up extra shifts. But besides Wednesday night, I'm usually free by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I work on the weekends.
Okay, so that's not bad, and you have the work on you have the partying that you do on the weekends. Yeah. And you don't really feel like that or the partying really affects the rest of the week so much?
Just with, like, the stupid DUI or whatever that I have the case for, because, like, if I lose my license or get suspended, whatever happens, I won't be able to get to work, I won't be able to get to school, and I might not be able to go out as much, because then, like, I'll have to rely on other people to drive me, and everyone's always late. And I like to get there and leave when I want to.
So that sounds like it's really affecting a lot of your life right now.
Kind of, but I don't feel like it's my fault, just because, like, I got caught. But if that person's car wasn't there, I wouldn't have hit it, and I would have been fine.
Okay, so yeah, it's pretty tough when there's other people involved.
Yeah. I think I have to go, like, see a judge against her or something like that. I don't know. Like, her car wasn't even that damaged. It was my car that was more damaged. And I just think it's her fault. So I shouldn't be responsible for all this.
Right. And you said you weren't even drinking that much that night, right?
Like, I had a few drinks, and, I didn't make them. They were mixed drinks, so, they could have been stronger, but I think, I knew how to drive the car. I was aware of where I was, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do things based on the breathalyzer and not how well you can drive.
Yeah, they shouldn't do that.
Have you ever thought about maybe the possibility of drinking less, or is it something that you've ever considered, wondered if it would be worth doing?
Would that help my case?
I think it would.
I mean, if it would help, I guess I could drink, I don't know, maybe I'll go out later on Thursdays and, start my weekend later. And that way, I don't know, it might work. I don't know. I have to ask, my friends what they think, and, where they're gonna go, and it depends, what's going on. Because I guess, if, one day during the weekend there's no parties or something, or it starts, later, I won't go to brunch that day. I'll just sleep in until 3 and then go out that night.
Okay. Have you ever considered maybe, completely stop drinking, or?
Well, I don't drink on the weeks, during the week.
Mm-hmm. But you do on the weekends, though,
Yeah.
correct?
So I can still stop. So good, because I stop during the week and I don't drink during the week.
Mm-hmm.
But in the weekends I drink, so I don't drink for 3 or 4 or so days.
Okay. Is that the longest that you've gone without drinking?
I think so. Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. And if it were to help your case, would you consider maybe stopping drinking if that's something that might help you?
Or would I have to go to one of those places that my mom got hauled off to?
Well, for every person, everything's different. So everything's different for each person, based on what you think might be best for you. There's lots of different options.
Okay.
We can continue meeting like this, but there are places that you could go to. There's a variety of different kinds. Is that something you might be interested in, or is that something you want to avoid?
Okay, so go with my friends and go to work and go to school and all that.
If there's a place that you could go that's more structured during the day, but you can go do whatever you want to do at night.
Okay.
And then there's, if you say going here, we can meet as often as we feel you need to meet.
Okay.
And then you can go during the day, and at night we can just meet whenever our appointment is.
Okay, so in regards to my court case,
Mm-hmm.
in the next 2 months, would I have to stop drinking, or could you say that I'm good?
I am not going to be able to tell something that's not accurate.
What if I tell you I stopped drinking? And is that okay?
I mean, I can't tell you whether to tell I would hope that you would tell me the truth,
Okay.
but I can't go off of anything that's not that. I'm also not going to tell anyone anything unless you sign a release saying that I can talk to them.
Okay.
Since they didn't tell you that you had to seek counseling,
Okay.
it's not really something that I'd have to do there.
Okay. But if I signed it, you could talk with them.
Mm-hmm.
Could I look at what you said before you tell them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So when can we meet next then?
We can meet next week, but I do encourage you to tell me the truth and be honest with me. Is that something you feel that you could do?
Maybe, we'll see. I just met you, so give me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you don't have to stop drinking. That's not something I'm going to force you to do.
Okay.
Right? I'm definitely okay if you with whatever you decide to do.
Okay.
It just might help your case.
Okay, so what about after court? Then can I see you after court, or is it just before court?
You can see me before court or after court.
Okay, but if the case closes?
You can continue seeing me if you'd like.
Okay, cool.
Alright?
Thanks.
Yeah, so do you want to schedule, we can do next week, or?
How much would you recommend that I see you, every week, every 2 weeks, once a month. Because my friend said that she saw her worker, like, no, she saw her worker once a week, but she said she saw her shrink twice a week.
You can see me twice a week if you feel like that's helpful or necessary, or once a week, but I wouldn't go less than once a week at this point.
Alright, what about next week at this time?
Okay, we can do next week at this time.
Like,
Yeah.
2-ish?
2-ish is perfect.
Here?
Yes, right
Okay.
here. I have the same office each time, and you can just go to the waiting room and I'll go get you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right? Well, it was
Thanks.
nice to meet you. I was glad that you can make it today.
Yep, I'm glad I came.
Okay. Have a good one.
Thanks.